The courtroom smelled faintly of disinfectant and old paper, a place designed to scrub emotion down to procedure. I sat where I'd been told, hands folded, back straight, listening to other people narrate my life as if I weren't there. He laughed once, short, confident. Not cruel. Certain. "The judge is my friend," he said, leaning back in his chair like this was a lunch meeting that had gone well. "You're leaving this room with nothing, soldier." My wife didn't look at me when she smiled. She looked at him. Then, as if remembering I existed, she turned just enough to land the words. "He's too scared to even speak. Look at him." I did look like that. Still. Composed. Silent in a way people confuse for surrender. Paper slid across the table, stopping just short of my hands. It wasn't aggressive. It didn't need to be. "Sign it," he said. "Now." I picked it up. Not to read it, at least not yet. I felt the weight of it first. How thin it was. How easily something so light could be used to close a door behind you. They watched my face, waiting for something. A tremor. A plea. Anger. I gave them nothing. Silence has a reputation for weakness. People think it's empty. They don't see what it costs. There was a time, years ago, another building, another authority, when speaking too early would have made everything worse. I learned then that timing wasn't about courage. It was about consequence. You waited until the room could hear you. I lowered the paper to the table. My wife exhaled through her nose, amused. He tapped his pen, already bored with me. I felt the familiar pressure behind my eyes. Not tears. Not rage. The strain of holding dignity in a place designed to strip it away. Part of me wanted to say who I was, what I'd done, why his certainty was misplaced. Not to win, just to end the tone. But anonymity is a kind of shelter. Once you step out of it, you don't get it back. I stayed quiet. The door opened behind us. It wasn't dramatic. No announcement. Just the sound of hinges and footsteps that didn't rush. A clerk said a name, not mine, not his, with a careful neutrality that shifted the air. The judge entered, took his seat, glanced at the file. His eyes moved around the room the way experienced eyes do, cataloging posture, confidence, imbalance. "Before we proceed," he said, looking at the paper in front of me, "I need clarification on counsel." The lawyer straightened. "Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier." The judge held up a hand. Not impatient. Precise. "I'm aware of your earlier statement. I'm also aware of your conflict disclosure. Or rather, the lack of one." The pen stopped tapping. There it was, the moment. Not loud. Not kind. Unmistakable. The judge's gaze settled on me. Not assessing. Recognizing. "Sir, you're not required to sign anything today." I nodded once. That was all. The lawyer tried to recover, words rearranging themselves too quickly. The judge listened, then shook his head. "We'll pause proceedings. Counsel will be reassigned. This will be noted." My wife's smile faltered. Not into guilt, just recalibration. She was good at that. At surviving shifts. No one looked at me as if I'd won. They looked at me as if they'd misfiled me. The paper was taken back. Not ceremoniously. Like something that had simply failed to do its job. When it was over, or at least stopped, I stood. No one stopped me. No one needed to. In the hallway, the fluorescent lights hummed. My chest felt strangely hollow, not light. Victory implies lift. This was more like returning a borrowed weight. I didn't look back. There was nothing there that needed witnessing. Outside, the air was cold and ordinary. Cars passed. People moved on with their days, unaware that anything had shifted at all. I stood for a moment longer than necessary, feeling the outline of myself reassert. Not restored to something heroic. Just intact. The marriage was finished. Not with shouting, not with closure. It had ended earlier, in pieces, in rooms like that one. What remained was the knowledge that silence, used correctly, could be a form of speech. I walked away without celebrating. That was enough.